Hi everybody. So the short version of our segment today is no. It's not K-N-O-W, it's N-O. And it's a very positive segment. This is from one fellow course student to another. It kind of it affects all of us, each and every course student, I think. I want to read you something and go from there. This is from chapter 9, section 1, the acceptance of reality. And it says here, if the purpose of this course is to help you remember what you are, and if you believe that what you are is fearful, then it must follow that you will not learn this course. And I think that's something we, at one point or another, have to address, mostly to ourselves. There's a part of us that wants to learn this course, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have it in our hands and we wouldn't study it. That part we don't have to worry about. That part is already set. But I think what we have to conclude at some point and look at is that there's a part of us that does not want to learn this course. And that's us. Let's just say that's us, right? And Jesus says, it must follow that you will not learn this course. And it's not that we won't learn it because we don't have the capacity to do so. It's we don't want to learn it because we don't want the goal that the course provides. So I'm going to read that sentence again. If the purpose of this course is to help you remember what you are, and if you believe that what you are is fearful, then it must follow that you will not learn this course. So we believe what we are, in truth, is fearful. We're afraid of what we are. And as the course leads us to remembering what we are, we don't want to learn this course. Now, not wanting to learn this course can have many, many different expressions, right? We change what it says. We selectively learn it. That means we learn only what fits into our goal, which is to keep our individual existence intact. We must realize that our individual lives and this course do not get along. This course does not help us, as Ken Wapnick always says, live a better dream. This course helps us to awaken from the dream, but as long as we don't want to awaken from the dream, we must use this course to stay in the dream, right? Basically, the moment we open this course, our purpose, most of the time, is a big, resounding no to Jesus. As I said, again, there's a part of us that wants to learn it, but that's not what we have to think about, right? Lesson 185 says, I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. No one can mean these words and not be healed. If we're not healed, that means we don't mean when we say, I want the peace of God. That's why the whole course is based on undoing the negative and not reinforcing the positive. We undo the negative, we undo the no. But in order for us to undo the no, we have to look at the no first, right? And looking at the no, in this case, means we have to look at our wish to change the course to something that suits our individual existence. I think we all have to come to that point. In one way, shape, or form, we all have to question our motives when we study. It doesn't mean we judge ourselves or we change anything, but I think it's important as a student of the course to realize how much we don't want this course. How incredibly afraid we are of its actual message, right? If the purpose of this course is to help you remember what you are, and if you believe that what you are is fearful, then it must follow that you will not learn this course. The next sentence is, yet the reason for the course is that you do not know what you are. If we knew what we were right at this very moment, we would not need the course. The only reason we need the course is because we don't know what we are, but we don't want to know what we are because what we are, we think is fearful. That's why we don't want to learn the course. It's the same with looking at our wish not to have peace, right? If we wanted peace, we would have it, because peace is our inheritance. It's just like, it's something that is inborn within us. It's part of us. It is us, right? If we don't have peace, it is because we don't want peace, and we don't want peace because we are afraid of it. And that's the very same principle here. And I think it's a good exercise to, once in a while, realize that the reason we don't practice the course, or we don't understand parts of it, is because we don't want to. Jesus says at some point, he says, the course is written in your language, which is the language of love, right? We don't understand it because we block it. But we can't admit that to ourselves, and then we make the course into something it is not. So the reason why we don't want to learn this course is because we're afraid. We are afraid of what awaits us when we follow Jesus' guidance. That is why we don't want to do what he says. That's why this is such a hard path. Or we might think it's an easy path, which is exactly what we talked about before. We make it into something that it is not. If this is an easy path, we're not doing the course. We're doing our version of the course, right? This course is about darkness. looking at the darkness with the light next to us. It's not about the light. So we associate truth with fear. The association of truth and fear, which would be highly artificial at most, is particularly inappropriate in the minds of those who do not know what truth is. We associate truth with fear. So we are afraid of what we are in truth. And that is why anything that would get us closer to that truth, we must avoid. And it's really not about changing that. It's only about looking at that and asking Jesus for help. It's not about trying to manipulate ourselves not to be fearful. It doesn't work that way. Overcoming fear does not work. Fear can only be dissolved through love, and love's reflection in this world is forgiveness. So looking at ourselves, studying this course while a big part of us doesn't want to learn it, and ask for help with that. That is the solution. And then there's this final thought. Jesus talks about the guide in this paragraph. It says, the purpose of this guide is merely to remind you of what you want. So Jesus reminds us of what we want, what we really want. But in order to get to what we really want, we first have to realize what our ego wants, what that individual self wants, which is not take this course all the way to the end, which is the heading of the chapter, the acceptance of the atonement. That means the separation did not happen. And if the separation did not happen, individuality didn't happen. So our individual existence is threatened each time we attempt to overlook the separation anywhere. I think that was all I was thinking of this topic, that basically just to look at the notion that there's a big part of us that does not want to study, that wants to maybe study the course, but does not want to actually go to where the course is leading us. It's a kind of like a closing to this little segment. This is in the same section 1, the acceptance of reality. That's on page 162 in the text, chapter 9, paragraph 11. This whole section is basically about our fear of the truth. And he says, you do not recognize the enormous waste of energy you expend in denying truth. All of our day is spent in denying truth, including studying this course. What would you say of someone who persists in attempting the impossible, believing that to achieve it is to succeed? attempting the impossible is denying truth. And Jesus says we waste energy trying to deny truth, because in the end we cannot deny it, because the truth is us, right? Anyway, so that's it. Those were my thoughts. See you next time.